Hey, Jack. You saw the divorce papers I left on the table for you, right? I've already signed them. You hurry up and sign them too, okay? Then get them to the courthouse as soon as possible.
Wait just a second, Zoe. What's going on? This is all happening so fast.
I'm not waiting. I want to get a divorce as soon as possible.
Tell me, Zoe, did I do something wrong? I've been racking my brain ever since I found these after getting back from work. And while I may not have been a perfect husband, I have no idea what I did to make you do this. So please, can you tell me why? If there's anything I can do to make our marriage work, I'll do it.
There's nothing you can do to make this work, Jack. We're done.
Even if that's true, just tell me why you... I honestly have no idea why you would do this to me. I won't be able to sleep at night unless you give me a reason.
Seriously, Jack? I was planning on doing you a favor and leaving you with your dignity intact, but if you insist on me taking even that from you, then I guess I'll oblige.
If you were really concerned about preserving my dignity, I don't think you would have left a stack of divorce papers on the table and left without saying a word.
Okay, well, don't say I didn't warn you. The reason I'm leaving you is your salary.
My salary?
When we got married, I thought you'd make a decent enough income, but holy smoke, was I ever wrong about that.
But, really? I mean, sure, I might not be making Elon Musk kind of money, but my salary is more than the national average.
Yep, there it is. I was waiting for that. We have completely different concepts of our finances. Money may not be the most important thing in the world, but it is really important for married couples to be on the same page. But with a gap in understanding as big as ours, there was no way this was ever going to last very long. It was only a matter of time that our relationship would end like this.
I definitely see where you're coming from. It's super important for couples to have shared values with things like money. But if that's really all that's wrong here, then can't we talk things out? I'm sure we can come to an understanding if we took some time to discuss it.
Sorry, but no thanks. I feel like I'm going to be the only one who ends up having to make any compromises, and I'm not interested in a marriage where I have to do all the sacrificing. I've already talked to my parents about this too, and they're totally on board with me divorcing you.
Wow. Let me think this over, okay?
Fine. You have 3 days to make up your mind.
What? 3 days? That's nowhere near enough time. You talk to your parents. I want to talk to mine about this too. Can't you give me more time than that?
Be grateful I gave you 3 days. I was gonna give you until tomorrow.
You got to be kidding me.
No, I'm not. And out of the kindness of my heart, I agreed to compromise again to give you 3 days. You know me. I don't like it when people keep me waiting for important things. 3 days is all you're gonna get.
I can't believe this, but okay. I'll talk to you again in 3 days.
Okay, 3 days is up, Jack. Did you sign the divorce papers yet? Remember to take them to the courthouse with you.
Yeah, I signed them. And I have them with me right now.
Good. By the way, my parents and I are going to go to the courthouse with you.
You are? Why?
Sounds like they want to have a little word with you before we're officially over. I bet they're going to tear into you about being a poor loser.
Poor? Come on, Zoe. I told you before, my salary is above the national average. We're upper middle class, not poor.
Would you please give it up already? We're getting divorced, and that's final. No amount of whining and pleading from you can change my mind.
Unreal. All right, I'll meet up with you all in front of the courthouse at 1. Hey, Sienna, you got a sec?
What's up, bro?
Would you stop calling me that? You're my little sister, not my college roommate. Anyway, you're free now, right?
You kidding me? I'm bored out of my mind. Classes are still out for the summer, my boyfriend's working, and none of my favorite Instagram accounts have any new content out, so yeah, I've got nothing to do.
Perfect. What would you say about going to the courthouse with me today?
The courthouse? Wait, this is about your divorce, yeah? How does this involve me?
Zoe just texted and said that her parents are going to go with me when I turn in the divorce papers. Something seems... I don't know, off. So I was wondering if you could come along with me, disguise yourself so they won't know it's you, and listen into our conversation so I have a witness.
Frankly, I would rather sit here doing nothing than play detective with you.
I'll give you $100.
Detective Sienna here, reporting for duty, sir.
Well, that's what I thought you'd say. Okay, you know the park out in the back of the courthouse? Meet me there at 12:30.
That park's pretty big. Where should I meet you?
You remember the big swing set we used to play on when we were kids? How about there?
Gotcha. See you then. Hey, Jack. Thanks for submitting the divorce papers like a good little boy.
Yeah, sure, whatever. By the way, are you sure you're okay with no property division? We were only married for half a year, but I think you'd be entitled to get about $2,000 or so for me. Do you really not want it?
$2,000? It's not worth the trouble. And the divorce was my idea and all, so you can go ahead and keep that as my parting gift to you.
Yeah, nice parting gift. Well, if that's what you really want, I guess that means we're done then.
Yep, bye-bye.
Thanks for tagging along, Sienna. You were a big help. I'm sorry I had to go and get you involved in this. It's my problem, not yours.
Hey, for $100, I'll get involved in any trouble you want me to.
You always would do just about anything for money.
It's all about the Benjamins, baby. But I gotta hand it to you, Jack. You saw right through them, didn't you? The very moment you handed off that stack of papers to the courthouse clerk, she said, "Phew. Now I don't have to worry about him finding out about my affair anymore." She said it pretty quietly, so you probably couldn't hear her, but I was standing right behind them, so I heard it all loud and clear.
You really earned your $100, Sienna. You started recording them with your camera just in time to get all the dirty details on tape. That makes my next step way easier.
Your next step, huh? What are you gonna do now?
Hiring a private detective. He might have a tough job ahead of him, since I'll need him to look into past affairs in addition to current ones. But it's what I'll need to do in order to have hard proof to use against her.
Okay, have fun with that. Let me know if there's anything I can do.
Nah, you've done more than enough for me already. Tell you what, when things settle down around here, I'll take you out to have a nice dinner one night.
Free food? I'm in.
And you can even bring your boyfriend too if you want.
Wow, you're feeling generous today.
He is dating my little sister after all. Gotta keep tabs on him too.
Jeez, you're starting to sound like Dad. Hey, you've got some explaining to do, Jack. We just got back from submitting our marriage certificate from the courthouse, and this strange person I've never met before asks me if my name is Zoe, then hands me this massive envelope. And when I opened it up, it said, "You're suing me?" What is your problem, Jack?
I heard through the grapevine that you were going to get married today. Congratulations. I hope the two of you are very happy together.
You can cut the sarcasm, Jack. Listen up and listen good. We are divorced. That means I can do whatever I want with whoever I want. So what makes you think you have the right to sue me? I don't know what internet forum you got your legal advice from, but you can't sue someone for remarrying after divorcing you. I get it, you're still in love with me and want me to get back together, but I'm telling you for the last time, that is never going to happen.
I'm afraid you're mistaken. I'm not suing you for remarrying. I'm suing you for your affair. The one you admitted to, remember?
What are you talking about?
I guess you didn't notice, but I wasn't alone on the day you and your parents came with me to submit the divorce papers to the courthouse. I had an acquaintance come along just in case, and that acquaintance heard the entire conversation you had with your parents in secret. Most importantly, they heard you saying that you didn't need to worry about me finding out you had an affair.
No way!
No, of course, just overhearing that alone wouldn't be enough to win a court case against you. So I hired a private detective to do some more digging for me. I was concerned at first, but I didn't know if you were still having the affair or if it was ongoing, meaning there might not be any way to catch you. But then, I got help from a very unexpected source.
I don't like where this is going.
You said the envelope was thick, right? There should be 2 other envelopes inside of it. One for me, and one from your new husband's ex-wife.
Huh? Oh, you're right. There's one more in here.
She had been suspecting her husband was having an affair for quite some time, and she had been gathering mountains of evidence against him. She was generous enough to provide me with all the evidence that she had. Thanks to that, I was able to finally make my move against you today. So tell me, Zoe, how does it feel to get sued by your ex-husband on the day that you got married?
No way. You mean you actually waited until the day we got married to do this? On purpose?
Your new husband's ex-wife was the one who came up with the idea. And it seemed so hilarious to me that we teamed up and coordinated it.
I don't believe this. You are such a scumbag, Jack!
Yeah, I don't want to hear that from you. You're the one who decided to carry on an illicit affair rather than have the decency to divorce me.
But we're divorced now, aren't we? And you didn't know about my affair when I divorced you, so what's the problem?
Here's an opportunity to give you a legal lesson. It turns out that by law, I can still sue you for infidelity after our divorce as long as the infidelity was discovered within 3 years of the date our divorce was finalized. So, yeah, I can 100% sue you.
Really?
I'm sorry, did I foil your perfect plan? Did you think that you could get away with what you did scot-free as long as you divorced me before I found out? Well, it doesn't work that way, Zoe.
No. So, you're really gonna sue me? Like, for real?
Let me put it this way. You see the dollar amount on page 4 of the stack of papers I sent you? You should operate under the assumption that you're going to have to pay me an amount pretty darn close to that.
Oh no. Well, whatever. Unlike you, my new man's the kind of guy who can pay for something like this with no trouble. I may have made a slight miscalculation, but it's not going to be that much of a problem.
Is that so?
Yeah, it is so. He's a big shot in a wedding consultancy company. His salary is way more than yours ever was or ever will be. He's got talent, ambition, money, power, the total package. Some low-tier nobody like you isn't even in the same universe as him.
Now I get it. I was kind of baffled by your parents' response to all this. I would have thought they'd tell you off when they found out about your affair, but no. They actually became accomplices in hiding it. I guess they were so thrilled about the prospect of gaining some wealthy guy as their new son-in-law that they made a terrible mistake.
Mistake? What are you talking about? This is totally the right move for me and them. It's a complete win for everyone. My husband's a big shot businessman. And starting today, I'm gonna live the spoiled and pampered lifestyle I deserve.
Hey, about that. I don't think your husband's gonna be any sort of big shot for much longer.
What? Why not?
Think about it. He's an executive in a wedding consultancy company, Zoe. If word gets out that one of the company execs was involved in a salacious affair, what effect do you think that would have on the company's business? Did you really think there wouldn't be any consequences at all for what you two did?
Wait, so he's gonna get fired?
You'll have to talk to him about that. I'm going by deduction here. I'm not privy to the internal workings of his company. It just seems like the most likely outcome would be a combination of demotion and pay cut, at least. I'd say him getting fired isn't totally out of the question either, though.
How can you be so relaxed about this? My lifestyle is on the line here.
Your lifestyle, not mine. As long as you pay whatever settlement we agreed on for my lawsuit, whatever happens to the two of you after that is none of my concern.
Hey, about that. I was looking at the papers and, well, there were a lot of zeros in the amount you're suing us for.
That shouldn't be a problem for your shot husband, right?
But...
You can talk about the finer details of the settlement with my lawyer, and he'll be contacting you soon. As for me, I no longer have any reason to speak to you, so anything you want to say to me, you can say to him.
Wait! I've been doing some thinking, and maybe getting divorced isn't such a good idea after all. What do you say, Jack? It's not too late for us, right? We can work things out. I get it, Jack. The reason you're suing me like this is to scare me into taking you back. You're still in love with me, and as long as those feelings are there, anything is possible. We can be a couple again. It'll be great. I'll be your devoted wife, and you can be my doting husband. I'll even think about not nagging you about your low salary anymore. Jack, are you there?
A few days after that last exchange, my lawyer told me that Zoe still wants to try to get back together with me. As I predicted, her husband got fired from his company after that, and she divorced him that very day. But like I said, her life isn't my problem anymore, so I told my lawyer to just ignore her and keep negotiating the settlement. As for me, I put in a transfer request to my company after the divorce was finalized, which was accepted, so I'll be moving across the state within the next few weeks. I also heard my sister's boyfriend propose to her the other day. He seems like a really upstanding guy, so I'm sure he'll take care of her. My lawyer finally reached a settlement with my wife and her new ex-husband yesterday, and they'll be starting monthly payments next week. Obviously, my ex-wife doesn't have that kind of money, so her parents are selling their house and borrowing the rest from relatives. The last I heard, they were all living together in a cheap one-room apartment and working day and night in order to make ends meet.